But at any rate, for me, it is actually more than just being able to play this game again. It's a return to a place that I spent a lot of time. It is a game that I, still to this day, shocking as it is to admit, is the Monster Hunter game that I have played the most. It's true, I have played this game, even though the last time I actually sat down and played it properly was 10 years ago. This is still the Monster Hunter game that I've played the most. And there is a reason for that. Some people, when they talk about their favourite Monster Hunter game or their favourite game in a series, will usually be referring to the game itself. In other words, storyline, gameplay, and the experience of playing the game as far as the developers and their input had affected the experience, whether it be good or bad. In the case of Monster Hunter Tri, I actually came to enjoy it as much as I did, probably more because of the community interaction that I had while playing online, which I can't really attribute to game developers. I can't exactly say that because they developed this game a certain way, it allowed for this community to blossom and ultimately become my favorite online gaming experience that I've ever had. Strangely, the people who played on the US servers echo the same sentiments as I do, even though I played on the EU servers. So it must have just been, a perfect alignment of various factors. I've got no idea what they are. All I can tell you is that at that time, at this place, Monster Hunter Tri, an amazing community, no matter where you were in the world, came together and enjoyed this game together. And that was unfortunately taken away from us. A lot of people didn't really get to experience that. This, finally, is a chance for people to be able to experience that again. Or at least something that is reminiscent of that, may partially resemble that. I actually don't know what to expect when it comes to this new community. I would say that some people from the old community are going to be a part of it, but my guess is that it will be an influx of so many new people who haven't experienced this game as it was on its original servers in the past, that it's not going to be the same community. We'll just have to see. But for now, I'm just excited to get back to Loc Lac. It has literally been 10 years. Oh yes, Wii Remote has disconnected. It's not actually disconnected, I just need to... Oh, have I been through this before? Where I can't actually work out how to reconnect the figurative controller, like literally my controller is still connected to my PC, but the emulator actually creates an auto-disconnect for the controller. I actually don't know how to re-establish a connection. No idea. I could try unplugging this and plugging it back in. It's always possible. No, you're going to do that to me, are you? Alright. We'll close and reopen. Ruin my introduction, will you? Now, I have not yet played online, as this video likely suggests. The reason why is because I haven't had the time. I set this up on the day the beta servers went live, and I just had to sit there and go, well, you know what, I don't have the time to sit down and record this, my first time coming back to Loc Lac in 10 years, so I'm not going to do it. And so I didn't play. And I have to set it as an extension for the Wii Remote. Whatever that is, I'll worry about it later. I've obviously recorded Tri before, which helps. It means that I don't have to go through preliminary setup when beginning this recording. I've got a lot of stuff that's already been organized and I guess designed to work well with my recording. But yeah, there may be some little things like that, a Wii Remote disconnecting that actually has nothing to do with the physical controller connected to my PC. Why that is a default feature of the emulator, I've got no idea, but I suppose maybe that's because it literally mimics the way a Nintendo Wii would work. Maybe that's the reason why. Two gift subs from P-Berry. Imagine gifting Tifa a sub, in particular. I suppose that's a return of the favour. Alright, just to talk about this save file that I have here a little bit, and also to discuss what my plans are for playing and recording Monster Hunter Tri, this is not my original save. Which is a regret of mine, but I'm over it now. There's a long story associated with it. This was a character that I started, I think, in mid to late 2012. I would say mid 2012. I'd say literally about 9 years ago I started this character. Sorry, that's not how that works. 11 years ago. 9 years ago. 11 years ago. Going in the other direction, Doomlink. This was a character that I don't really have much of an attachment to. When I played way too much of this game, again, as I said, even though I haven't played this game in 10 years, it is still to this day my most played Monster Hunter game. What that actually did was, it burnt me out so fulsomely that I actually needed to take a break from the whole series, but then ultimately I had lost all sense of value for the time that I had put into the game, because I was just sick of it. I had created an emotional detachment, I disconnected from my original character, and do you know what I did? I actually sold my Wii, and put the proceeds of that towards an Xbox 360 at that time. And this was actually back in 2011. And I greatly regretted that. This was late 2011. Very late 2011. And, it wasn't until many months later when I suddenly had an urge to play Monster Hunter Tri again. Like, it came on like a wave, and I just sat there and I, shrunk back into my chair or wherever I was sitting, and I was just like, oh my god, what have I done, One of the biggest mistakes of my life was, willingly parting with that save progress that I had on that Nintendo Wii. And that's part of the reason why I've been so careful with maintaining my saves since then. Sadly, around the same time, I managed to misplace it. That's a long story, don't worry. It was about the loss of my save files for Freedom Unite and Portable Third as well. It resulted in a great deal of frustration for me. But this save here, the reason why I don't have much attachment to it is because it was a save that was basically like me slaughtering the game. Like, I just got on there and just slaughtered it. I blasted through the whole thing. All I wanted to do was push to get back to my Hunter rank, which was 568. You can see that I didn't reach that point. But that's how I managed to get as high as 218 in 400 hours of playtime. It's because a lot of what you're seeing on this character was actually, grinding Elatrion with cluster runs, and it was, not all that special. This was not a special save where I'd really put my heart and soul into it. This was just something that I was, I guess, playing on to, out of desperation, reach what I had lost, or reclaim, or once again attain what I had lost. But I am going to use this character to go on to Loc Lac for the first time in 10 years. Alright, sneaky VOD edit. This was what I was actually showing on the screen while I was discussing my detachment to this particular save, or my lack of attachment to this save. Would have been nice if that were actually visible while I was talking, but sometimes when things go wrong, they really go wrong. The disconnection of the Wiimote caused me to, required me to close and reopen the emulator, which then meant that I was recording the wrong thing, which was great. Anyway, we are going to open this save, and the reason why I'm opening this save is because it feels nicer to return to Loc Lac, at least for the first time, with a character that was actually playing on the original servers. I actually tested this. I just wanted to test that the network connection was working when I first set this up, when the beta first went live, and I was using the other character, and I could see that where Capcom ID should have been, there was no Capcom ID, so I'm going to assume that there will be a Capcom ID for this character, because it actually was given a Capcom ID on the old servers. And there you go. So 38SFJZ. At least I think so. Oh no, I think I made this ID. Doomlink, that's why it's called Doomlink, never mind. I guess your Capcom ID is lost. Or maybe it wasn't migrated with the save, I don't know, we'll find out. Maybe, wouldn't that be funny if my online progress had not been saved, but my character's progress had been saved? I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. We'll find out. It will be strange if that is the case, but we'll find that. Alrighty. So, we have a choice of either anyone being able to join in this section, open. Rookie is only for people up to Hunter rank 30, so basically all of the low rank people. I believe 32 is the beginning of high rank. Maybe it's 30 technically. I thought it was 32, which is weird. My memories are probably going to be slightly challenged when I come into this game because it has been a long time. Even though I played so much of Monster Hunter Tri, there are some things that I have forgotten. But I suppose the reason why I remember as much as I do is precisely because I played it for so long. But anyway, okay, and that's 31, so I guess 31 is technically the first Hunter rank where you enter high rank. I thought it was 32, but maybe 31 is actually the join requirement for high rank quests, because of course, if 31 is the beginning of high rank, that would therefore put the number 31 as the join requirement for HR for high rank quests, at least initially. There are some that are 46, and if I remember correctly, 51. So, is it 50? No, I guess 51 doesn't have its own section, which is fine because there is nothing beyond high rank. It's just high rank. But there is actually a join requirement that exists for what I remember to be Devil Joe and Alatrion and possibly high rank Gemmaran, but my guess is it's actually 31 for high rank Gemmaran. That would make more sense. So, yeah. And I seem to remember that there were also some multi-monster quests that were attached to HR 51 join requirement. And then that's recruiting, which I don't know why anyone would join that. Now, as you can see, we have a choice of either US or EU. No one's playing on the EU server at the moment. We've actually got as many as 29 playing at this time, which is pretty good because this is not really a lively time in the world for people to be online playing video games. It's fine, I guess, in Australia, but not worldwide. I've definitely seen more people playing than this. But seeing 29, you know what? It puts a smile on my face, and the reason why is because that's a damn sight better than 3 Ultimate at the moment, so that really is saying a lot. I don't know what Chivy is screaming about in the chat, but he seems to be very excited. Can't wait to see medium bowgun gameplay. There will be a little bit of that. It doesn't really look any different, to be honest. Medium bowgun is just a bigger light bowgun, to be honest. As I seem to recall, there are medium bowguns that are foldable and some that you just sling on your shoulder. It's just it's a weird classification. That's why it wasn't continued at all. City Gate. Now, of course, the big difference between this game and Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate as far as the online location is concerned is that you actually physically, as your character, enter the city before you go into a gathering hub. Now that for me was... it was essential to have that for an online Monster Hunter game on a stationary console because you were really interacting with the space. But then Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate ended up just having a menu, which was a real shame. I was not happy with that at all. It was just another example of why 3 Ultimate was more of a portable Monster Hunter than a stationary console Monster Hunter. But I was very impressed with the fact... well, I don't even think I was that impressed at the time. I thought it would obviously be this way, but I am now in hindsight impressed with the fact that they did carry over much of the online communication systems of Tri to 3 Ultimate. Because they didn't fucking do that for Generations Ultimate, I'll tell you that. That game is literally just a 3DS game on a Switch, as far as online communication is concerned, and that's pretty sad. Citygate 1. I'm fucking ready. 10 years, everyone. 10 years. Here we are. God. How weird is that? And the music as well. Timeless. Do you know how much time I spent just sitting here chatting to people? It was a separate area as far as chatting was concerned. This was like the lobby. This was actually in many cases where you would try to recruit hunters, because it wasn't always effective to make a room and sit in it. You would actually chat in here first and see if anyone was interested in hunting, because there were a lot of people who would sit around. Now, you couldn't actually see other players, but if you were to start typing, and I don't know how to start typing here, I mean, I would have to actually manually go to chat or something. I don't really know. There must be a way to connect a keyboard for the emulator, because it's free type in this game. You literally start typing on a USB keyboard that's connected to the Wii, and it will start typing. So, yeah, I don't remember how to do it outside of that. Oh. Let's see. Online options. Dunno. It's plus or... Well, it's certainly not minus. Minus, minus. Oh, it's minus, minus. There you go. Do they call it minus? I can't remember now. I think they do call it minus, yeah. But yes, you can type here, in other words. That's very cool. Alright. My guess is that my online progress has been saved. Let's check out the city list. Come now. It's usually a little slow to load. Oh, wow. How good is it to see that? I forgot about the empty halls. That's how you created a new hall. You'd fucking select it like this. You wouldn't go to... You'd create a hall. You'd actually select an empty slot. How much better is that? That is a better system. And I believe I can inspect with... Yeah, I can inspect the room before joining it. How easy is that? You just fucking... You hit it. You don't need to press a special button like you do in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. You actually... You just join. Well, you just press the button to look at it, and then you join. I really like that. Oh no! Windows Defender has blocked some features. Yeah, relax. Allow access. You hurry up and allow access before I get disconnected. Windows Defender gave me a notification there. That was a concern. Thank you, Chibi, for your contribution. Genuinely. Heading to the city. If this works, I'll be happy. I just want to see the online working. Apparently the other guy's gone now. That's a shame. Here we are. So we've got a few vendors here. It's just amazing to be back here. I've not laid eyes on this, at least not this intimately. You know, I've seen a little bit of footage here and there of Trier since the servers shut down, but to actually be here and to be walking around and to be connecting to people is just... It's bizarre. It would be incorrect to say I've been sitting here waiting for this since the server shut down, because I didn't really have the foresight to be able to imagine fan servers being made for it. I was too busy getting upset about the server shutting down. But here we are. It took fucking 10 years. It would have been no consolation to me at that time to know that it would take 10 years for this to work. Could I just say that the people who are responsible for this project have done such an immense service to the traditional Monster Hunters and its community that, you know, there are almost no words. I can also tell you that the way that they designed this, I don't know how much of it is a result of their work or just how versatile Dolphin is as an emulator, but the way the setup process for the online aspect of this emulation, the way that was so simple and literally took like 3 to 5 minutes to set up was just amazing. It's incredible. But you know, it took them some time to get this up and running, so I don't doubt that there was a lot of hard work that went into it, and I do absolutely appreciate that. It's amazing. I want to go back to my house. I haven't seen my house in ages. It's over here. The big mansion gates. Oh yeah. So, Hunter rank 212. You see, I have not seen the online status screen in some time. That's different. It's fully populated. If you go into the village, it's not fully populated like this. You can see your HRP, your next. You see how just detailed it is. I can just go to stats and it's just right there. That's the information I want to see. I want to see my hunter rank, my HRP, and how much I need for the next rank up. Fucking hell. So good to see. And here is my home. Here's my guildies. I don't think that there are actually 4 different colours of guildie, otherwise I would have done that. You can see that I've just gone with red on the far left and the far right, and then gone with 2 different colours in the centre. Got a Poogie dressed in black. And yeah, this is your room. This is one of the things that you get to enjoy. I mean, they return to it in Monster Hunter World, which is nice. But this is one of the things you get to enjoy in Monster Hunter G, and Monster Hunter DOS, and Monster Hunter Tri, in those traditional games. A room that you can, not so much customize in the older games, but a room that would change along with your progress through the online. And there's an exit here into the tavern, and here it is. I am so intimately familiar with this place. Intimately familiar. Just, it's amazing to be back here. Now remember, this save was not a save that I... Yeah, look, I did not bother completing any of these quests. Just fucking... HR 40... Oh, it's 46 for Elatrion. Well, what's this 51 that I'm remembering? Okay, well, how strange is... Oh, that's why. It's because this was the urgent quest. The last urgent. See, that's what Deviljho was. I'd forgotten that. Just listening to this music, I'm sorry. Fuck. I can't believe I'm back. When I talk about Deviljho having this intimidation factor, you fight Elatrion before you fight Deviljho, properly at least. Of course, you've got the opportunity with certain event quests. What's here now? You've got the event Elatrion, which is a better chance, obviously, for Sky Piercers. I believe they drop. They drop without breaking the horns. They are a quest reward. We've got World Eater, which is the gigantic Deviljho. I forgot that these two were actually together in the same event rotation. Jump 3 Jaggy, I think that's the one for the Jaggy head. Blood Sport. Don't remember now, I hated that fucking event. Oh yeah, I remember that it was a low rank one, yeah. Mercy Mission. I don't remember that one very clearly. That's Mini Uragan. Yeah, wow. But that should just give you a clear idea of why Deviljho had the intimidation factor that he had, without even considering how he would invade your quests and absolutely destroy you when you were going through high rank. You actually couldn't fight him until Hunter rank 51. Which is not that much beyond 46, but still, it was... that's how it was. And then Into the Fire as well, you've got 3 different locations for him. I used to do Into the Fire just because I found myself not doing it as often, so that was usually what I would select. The Princess's Pride. This quest name is actually why people thought that Diablos was female, but actually it's the client, it's the spoiled princess. Because this was called Princess's Pride, people thought that it was referring to the Diablos, and I was one of those people. And I've actually heard other people quote this quest title as to what led them to believe that Diablos was female. Of course, it's only Black Diablos who is female. That's the point. Sea of Dragons. There was a fun... Bo has entered the hub. Entered the city, sorry. Give him a hi. God. I do not miss having to use this fucking thing. I remember when I first started playing the game, the on-screen keyboard was the only way that I could communicate. And when I finally went and got out a USB keyboard, it was I just couldn't stop chatting to people. It was so great. Like, I was just chatting to people during the hunt. And of course they were chatting back. That's just how it was. There was a fun glitch where you could do a kickback animation and fall into that area. I can't remember how I did it. I think it was an angle like this. Oh, this controller sucks. No, it was sort of... What I used to do to get it to work was to face just slightly to the right. I can't walk because this analog stick is so bad. With a Wii analog stick, I wouldn't have an issue. There was a bit of a temptation to actually play this on the Wii, like on the actual console itself. God, this sucks. This controller is so bad. Let's just try with this. Kickback is over here. Only, you couldn't see it, by the way. Only people who are connected to your room could see it. That's an important point. There's Bo. What's his hunter rank? I'm actually interested to see how our connection is with other hunters insofar as how they move around the city, because I should mention that the only place where you can see other hunters is in this area when you connect to the city. But the connection between hunters in Monster Hunter G and its fan servers is not as good. They sort of jitter around. This guy's cool, he's reading what the dialogue is. It's the first time he's been here. He's obviously just made a new character. I've made a new character as well, but I have built it online a little bit. So, yeah, it's good to be back here. Blacksmith. Remember all of his silly little noises that he makes. That's the armory clerk. Clark, I really should be saying. I'm not American. Oh yeah, all of this business, eh? Yeah. And I remember coming up here just because you never really had a reason to come up here, but I used to enjoy looking at the scenery from up here. It's really nice to be back. It's really good. I don't really intend to play on this character because, as I said, I did not put much soul into it, you know. I felt like a junkie who was just, you know, sating some kind of obsessive compulsion. And, yeah, there was... all I was doing the whole time I was playing on this character was wishing that I had my old character back. That's why I was so desperate to just build it as quickly as I did. It doesn't... yeah, but interestingly, I don't have a negative attachment to it because I think about that. It just so happens that I don't have an attachment to this character, and I would rather build a new one now. I'd rather build a character that I know inside and out, that I've recently put time into, and that I can really have a connection with again. That's what I would like. So, yes, P-Berry, what you talk about is, or what you're referring to, is Moocher Meal. Now, Moocher Meal is an option where, see this here, I think that's a bell sitting, yes. So if you were to sit here in front of the bell, that would make you, you know, the head of the table, effectively. And you can host a meal from here. Am I remembering that right? Yes. So this is Mooch a Meal. Now, when you mooch a meal, you do this fun little wiggle. And when someone sits down at that counter bell and hosts a meal while you're doing this animation, mooching a meal, you will be treated to whatever meal they actually select for themselves. A pretty cool system. I'm just going to sit here and mooch a meal and maybe someone will get me a meal. You never know. What you're seeing here is a little detail courtesy of Alpha Team. Alpha Team are responsible for little things like this. They're the details people. They're the ones who really built Monster Hunter in its concept. It's beta team not that diluted it, but rather made it more suitable for, you know, being a video game. Alpha team had a better idea of how to do it by the time they came out with Tri, but beta team have always been that restraining influence on alpha team, not directly, but indirectly through making sequels, going, okay, now those ideas are great, but they're just they're a bit out there, they're a bit wild. Let's tone it down a little, make it a bit more accessible to people within the context of a video game. You know, some things are great in concept, but when you actually translate that to playing a video game, it's awful. That's why, you know, first and early second gen was so miserable to play sometimes. It's because of all these ideas that Alpha Team had that were not necessarily implemented that well. Some people don't care, they actually like that aspect to Alpha Team games, but I don't know. I don't think they were good gaming implementations. I think it's going to be hard to find people to play with that are of a higher rank, but that's okay because I'll be coming on with my original character, not my original, my new character, and I'm going to be Hunter rank 0 and then Hunter rank 1 as well, so there you go. And I'll be doing it while recording here, because why the hell not? This set, by the way, what is this set? This is my... I use this for rapid... whatever the hell it is. Rapid poison. It's very good for that. You can see that the... this is your system, by the way, for composite guns. You've got a frame, barrel, and stock that actually contribute certain numbers of shots to your overall amount. That column at the end there tells you what your gun can shoot in total. In this case, I can rapid fire 3 poison level 1 and then shoot in single shots, single rounds, 3 level 2. So, yeah. Most of that is courtesy of this barrel here. Quite obviously, being literally a giggy that you stick on the end of your gun, it's pretty good at shooting poison. So, yeah. Yes, emulation shines it up, but do you know what... there are two things to this, P-Berry. The textures, the actual resolution of the textures of Monster Hunter Tri are very high, which the Wii doesn't always do a good job of recreating. Well, not really recreating, but I guess displaying. But there was another point to all of this, and that is that there is something called bloom, which most of you are aware of, I'm sure, that is bad in almost any amount in a video game. A small amount of bloom is acceptable, maybe. A very small amount. Some would argue that it's better not to have any bloom at all. Well, what I've done here is I've completely removed the bloom, because this game has some of the most egregious use of bloom of any video game ever made. It is repulsive. It is terrible. You will walk into the desert, and it's like... you can't even see anything, it's so bright. Just the sand itself is glowing. It's like being on the surface of the sun. It's really, really bad. And you see what bloom does when you have too much of it is that it makes places that are bright way too bright, and it makes places that are dark way too dark. Way too dark. So no matter what you do with your brightness settings, it's never going to be quite right. Either the game's going to be too bright or it's going to be too dark. It's terrible. It's really, really bad. And I'm pleased to say that because I'm emulating this, I can take all the bloom out, and you're looking currently at probably the best Tri's ever looked. So, at least in my opinion. But yeah, it's always going to look a whole lot better like this. Alright, Lord Zor, that's it for you. We're going to... I suppose the main menu, I can't remember if I can... Yes, I suppose we'll save progress, that's fine. But, we will not be continuing with that character. I really have no need to do so. We are going on to the Doomlink character. Now, I'm not hugely pleased with the name of Doomlink, but it was the best I could think of, to be honest. I wanted I didn't want to make a Draculesti a female character, I wanted to make a male character, but I didn't want to make literally a third Lord Zor character because my original was Lord Zor, and that second one that I made, which I just showed you, was Lord Zor. So I wasn't going to make a Lord Zor the second, that would be rather silly. Maybe that wouldn't be a terrible idea, but... yeah, too late now. It's Doomlink. Just Doomlink. Network. Oh, it's so pleasing to be able to play this online. I would like to get my keyboard connected. I hope it's not difficult to figure out, because I'm actually going to do it right now. This shouldn't actually change what you guys are seeing. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going through options. I'm going to go through... let's just go through configuration, just general configuration settings. You know what, there might be a faster way to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check online. I'm going to see Dolphin USB keyboard. Set up a USB keyboard for in-game typing on Dolphin. Config Wii Connect USB keyboard. Shockingly, that's exactly where I've gone. I've gone config and then Wii. Aha, I just found it. Connect USB keyboard, there you go. It's literally just a checkbox. Dolphin is so robust. It's amazing. Like a checkbox, and it just works. Just like that. It's because Dolphin's very old. Dolphin is way older than this game. It's like, I don't know. It's about as old as the Wii itself. It's one of the oldest continuously running emulators. And, you know, they've put effort into maintaining it and improving it. Oh, here we go. Well, this is great. I'm glad that I can show you this. I haven't seen this in ages. This is your first journey to Loc Lac. That's not what my hunter looks like. Obviously, it's already been rendered, so... they don't really allow you to insert your character. That's a funny view of the tavern location. I don't know if they call it the tavern in this game. They may do. I can't remember now. You will find that I remember a lot about this game, down to details, and then certain other details I will have forgotten. It's what 10 years of not playing a game will do to you. But usually 10 years of not playing a game will cause you to forget more than I have. The reason why I remember as much as I do, like I said, is because I did play this game a lot. Just an absurd amount. This place was like a home to me, like a video gaming home. I lived on this game for almost 2 years. Lived on it. Almost every single day I'd spend most of my day, or pretty much all of my free time, I guess we'll say, playing this game. The desert city, Loc Lac. I was so attached to this place that when Portable Third came out, I made my title Archer of Loc Lac. So, yeah, here we are. As Doomlink, which is fine. I can live with that. Oh, sorry, I'm skipping through your text, sir. It is weird doing this from the beginning again. Part of me, you know, it's a strange... there's a duality to this. I wish that I could have my original character. Even now, I wish that I had my original character. But I'm also happy to be able to experience this again with a new character. And relive it. This is probably a, you know, that contradiction might not exist in some people's minds because they quite happily record, or not record, but rather restart their playthroughs on Monster Hunter, but I don't, you know, because of what happened to my original character in this game, I do my best to avoid that. I actually just want to put time into one character, and just use that forever. And that will be the case for pretty much all the games, as far as I can control that. But for this one, it just feels right within myself to take my time and enjoy myself now, many years later, with this character, because I can't get my original character back. So let's just make a new one, do the best we can. Alright, so we can actually see what is on offer in terms of event quests for both standard quests and arena quests. Now, you don't refer to these as event quests, but I suppose these grudge matches are also on rotation. So, probably the most obvious of all the event quest rotations is Gen Moran. When Gen Moran comes in, you know, because a sandstorm literally covers the whole of Loc Lac. It's called the Festival of Fear, and all the hunters get together on their boats and go and hunt the Gen Moran. That is the story. There's only one Gen Moran, really, as far as I'm aware. I think they're actually just chasing him away, not actually hunting him and killing him. But in terms of the gameplay experience, we are obviously killing him and hunting him for his stuff. Oh yes, I should have connected my keyboard. Is it just... No, where's my free type? Where's my free type? Just when I thought that it was going to be simple. Maybe I need to enable it somewhere. Well, I'd like to have a keyboard. Lobby chat is on. I would like to display based on ID, please. No, I'm not going to reject friend requests. I don't think I even did that back when I was Hunter rank 568. Not to my recollection of it. It's funny, I did forget about shoutouts existing in this game. There are some awards here. This is basically your guild card. Your guild card has been removed, and, well, it's incorrect to say removed. This is a funny point, but none of these older Alpha Team games had a guild card. It was only the Beta Team games that decided that it was worthwhile having a guild card. The first game to have a guild card was Monster Hunter Freedom 1, and that thing was a mess, but it's, you know, it was still a guild card. But here we are in 2009, 2010, depending on which version you're playing, and there's no guild card still, keeping in mind that Freedom 1 was from 2006, so... Yeah, Alpha Team were like, fuck that, you can have some awards if you really want them, but forget the guild card. So yeah, there's no way to actually keep track of your weapon uses or any of that sort of information, at least not in one place, not like one section of your menu where you can actually gain access to that information, which is a shame. Let's do what? Let's hunt. Let's hunt. I'm kind of upset about my keyboard. How do I get this to work? Maybe there's... I bet this has been discussed already. What's he saying? Okay. Let's. Yeah. Maybe there was a conversation that had been going on previously that I was not privy to. I'm happy to see people chatting in this section though, that makes me happy. This is the point. You were actually able to chat in the menu of Port Tanzia in 3 Ultimate, but no one ever did. Do you know why? It's because you were not physically interacting with the space. When you are here, physically interacting with the space, and you realize that you can type, it feels more natural to do that. But if you're just sitting in a menu screen, it's sort of weird, and people didn't do it that much. People did do it back when 3 Ultimate first came out, but it was not used in the same way that it was in Try. In Try, it was literally a place to recruit people to play with, and to have real conversations. It was great. I recruited people for Elatrion cluster shot runs so much in this lobby screen. Or in this lobby area. Shouldn't even call it a screen. It was a screen in 3 Ultimate. Ah, bloody hell. What am I doing with myself? I might actually check the chat on the server and see if I can figure out if anyone else has asked. I'm going to type keyboard. Anyone can explain how to write with keyboard on Dolphin? This question came as recently as 30 minutes ago. Alright. Oh no. Can anyone explain how to write with a keyboard on Dolphin? The response is not possible. Dolphin itself would have to fix that. In other words, there must be an issue with how the emulator is interacting with Tri. And that's only something that can be fixed, well, just if we take it at face value from this guy. That's something that Dolphin would have to fix on their end, rather than something that could be fixed by the people who are behind this project, which is a real shame. That's terrible. I'm so sad to see that. Because for those who are unfamiliar with online play and Tri, but have watched me play 3 Ultimate, same system, free type. You start typing on your USB keyboard that's connected, and you'll be able to type to people. That is almost a reason to play on the original system, but I would only play on the original system if I would be able to remove the bloom somehow. I would have to have conversations about that, but to be honest, I don't really want to play on the original hardware because it does not look anywhere near as good. We've got an arena room, shockingly. Arania is doing probably the last arena quests that they need to get done on their character. Some of these people, by the way, have been playing... they've been testing the online of the game, and so they've been playing amongst themselves and increasing their hunter rank. Every single time there was a call for there to be testers, I was asleep, okay? These people, obviously, the people behind the project have a very different time zone to me, so they would always do it at, like, between 3 and 5 a.m. my time, which didn't really work for me. They would have a call for anyone interested to come and join the tester team, and then they would revoke it once they got the required number of participants. So there you go. Everyone welcome with Popsicle. He's hunter rank 8. Which is pretty low, as far as Tri is concerned. But, yeah, I don't know, there's not many people to hunt with right now, but I don't necessarily need to hunt with anyone at this stage. We can join Velvet and Fane, I don't mind. In the meantime, I can do some basic questing, just some gathering quests. I don't remember the key quests, I could probably bring them up. That would likely be the best way to proceed. But yeah, this is actually not going to be part of the Doomlink's Life Hunt series for a while, not until I'm literally playing with people randomly for fun. It's actually going to be part of the Hunting with Purpose series. In fact, you guys have already seen me record this in the Hunting with Purpose series. The character that you see now is a character that I believe I've, well, not solely worked on while recording, but the majority of the work that I've done with this character has been in the Hunting with Purpose series. This music is literally... I can't really understate this, but this music encapsulates a period of my life that is so long ago. When I really think about it, that it's... And it's beautiful music, if it was shitty music, it wouldn't be as poignant, to be honest. It does actually elicit feelings of sorrow in a nostalgic way, in a bittersweet nostalgic way. It's a sad thing, but I'm back. But yeah, the music is just beautiful in this game, and I'm so happy to be hearing it again. Some of it does return in 3 Ultimate, but I don't think that track does. This guy needs to stop laughing maniacally. This song, I believe, is in 3 Ultimate. I'm really getting sick of hearing this guy laughing in my face. You're way more. Well, hello. But yeah, I'm happy to see so many people here playing the game. My hope is that the community can sustain itself, like really remain active. To be honest, if it can sustain itself as well as Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, I can cope. I can handle that, because you can still see me play Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate every now and again, and I do have people to play with, and there's like barely anyone playing that game. Oh, the reason why I don't have any Zenny is because I've been forging weapons, and the last upgrade that I made, I believe, was on a Kurapeko Sword and Shield, which, to be honest, is now, well, it was obviously most of my money. It can now be upgraded to a Rathalos Sword and Shield. Kurapeko Chopper, like, this is a good starting point. Like, I have a decent number of weapons that are fully upgraded for a low-ranked person. I'm wondering if I can, while online, actually see the high-rank upgrade. I can. So if I'm in the village, it doesn't actually show me what the high-rank upgrades are here. But that's nice to know what I need. Like, for example, I could work towards Rathian plates before reaching high rank. I don't know why you would actually willingly do that. Because, spoiler warning, plates are still the fucking rare item in high rank in this game, and they're bloody hard to get. Well, I think you still get rubies, but plates are fucking impossible to get. You do still get rubies, I'm being dramatic, but the point is that, bloody hell, it's not easy. The rare item drop rates in this game, like getting 2 Wyvern Stones for this, miserable. Absolutely miserable. Good luck. I'll probably go for the Spiral Lance before I go for the Shadow Javelin, but that's a pretty cool lance. That's a good lance for this game. Poison obviously isn't as effective here as it was in this game's predecessor, Freedom Unite. Or, I guess if you want to be strictly correct about it, Monster Hunter DOS. But, yeah, this is one aspect to Monster Hunter Tri that did not make a return. This was an idea, I believe, that only was put forward or actually implemented in Tri. It was not in DOS. I believe I'm correct in saying that. Where you actually have 2 possible options for an upgrade for one weapon that actually does not differ in terms of the materials used. Like, in other words, it's not a subspecies of the monster or anything like that. It's the same monster, but one of them has an attack bonus and the other has an affinity bonus. There's in fact a third one, which is a slots bonus, where pretty much what you're getting is increased slots rather than anything else. So, I mean, that is really modular. What that means is that for certain armor sets, you may want to use the affinity-based one. With others, you may want to use the one with extra slots. I can tell you that created a pretty interesting endgame. It's Freudia. I don't think Freudia likes me anymore. There's a long explanation as to why, but I'm not surprised to see Freudia here. He may not recognize this name, but anyway. I wonder what his hunter rank is. Sadly, there's no way to actually see someone's hunter rank from a distance here, unless I go to chat log and do that. Compose. I can compose a short message to Freudia by doing that. That's usually... So whenever you would have someone leave the room and you still wanted to chat to them, or you left and you wanted to chat to someone previously, that's how you would actually be able to message them still. You would go to the chat log and compose that way. Otherwise you'd compose, I think, to... Well, you could do it... No, I think that's usually how it would always go. But yeah, this is your short messaging system. It still exists in 3 Ultimate. You know, when I talk about 3 Ultimate not being a good port, at least they had the short messaging system. It's the online communication functionality that they actually took the time to put into the game, which for me made it a tolerable port. There are a lot of things that weren't done correctly in 3 Ultimate, but Capcom doing their level best to bring the online functionality of Tri to 3 Ultimate on the Wii U, in my opinion, was something really commendable. As I said, I didn't really feel that way about it back then because I thought it was a no-brainer, but most of that, I guess most of the reason why I felt that way was because I just didn't truly realize that it was a 3DS game put on the Wii U. I think I knew about it being on the 3DS, but not really. It was so irrelevant to me that I didn't even factor that in. I never even compared the 3DS version to the Wii U version to see how they differed. I was just like, well, I actually think I assumed at the time that it was made for the Wii U from the ground up. But, yeah, it was not. It was not. I think they may have been developing this game with the expectation that it might be on the PlayStation 3. I think that was rumored back in the old days, but I don't know. Obviously, the motion controls did feature in this game. You could use motion controls if you were actually inclined to do so. Why the fuck you would want to do that, I've got no idea, but anyway. Yeah, I'm actually quite close to making this. I just need 2 Wrath Marrow. Wrath Marrow is not that easy to get in low rank, but it's obviously doable. I think Freudia has posted a quest and has departed, which is fine. I probably will be doing the same. It was a gathering quest. Oh, I remember this guy, yeah. I remember him talking about money and then giving you 1 zenny. That is memorable to me. Which is funny, I've only read that text twice in my life. Once was in 2010 and the other time was in late 2012. So, there you are. I need to do something about my potions. Can I purchase mega potions from you? If I can, that would be just lovely. Of course I can't purchase mega potions. When can you ever do that? Get with it, Doomlink. It's not like, what, 5th gen Monster Hunter. That's probably the only place where you can do that. I do have honey. I have 89 honey, so I've got a bit. What I don't have much of, unfortunately. Oh no, Freudia didn't depart. Unless he's come back. Has he come back? What is your hunter rank? He's only HR 6, and he's got a starting loadout. That's because Freudia is a 1st gen player. I think he's played a little bit of DOS, but he's actually more of a 1st gen player. You see him quite often in the 1st gen community. He plays a lot. What have you put up on the board? And this is what I really like as well, being able to see what quests have been departed on. I think there's a game where they remove that functionality. I mean, why the fuck would you do that? I've got no idea, but... Oh, actually, yes, let's do this together, because this is a key quest, so I remember this. I do remember this. I don't know if it's worthwhile. Oh, yes. That's really interesting. So if I join on the quest, it says that Freudia has joined a quest, meaning that I am on a quest with Freudia, which is weird. Anyway. Let's depart. I'm not going to eat for this quest, I don't think it's worthwhile, but I'm glad that we can do this together. Again, it's nothing's ever been explicitly stated, but he and I had a bit of a falling out because I took verbal action against people who were turning the Monster Hunter Freedom 1 channel into a meme channel back in Hunsterverse, and ever since then it's like he just lost respect for me. And yeah, so that was a bit of a shame, but yeah. I'm glad we can still hunt together. Because he doesn't know it's me. Alright. We are going to consume some rations so that we can at least have plenty of stamina. But yeah, I like this set visually. The baggy set works very well with the Lagiochris longsword. Anyway. Freudia is using a switch axe, which doesn't surprise me. He's obviously testing out this strange 3rd generation weapon. What is this? So it's switch axe. It's all... I'm sure much of this is quite new to him because, again, he's more of a 1st and 2nd gen player. Which might be strange, but they do still exist. Alright, red coral stones. I hate this fucking quest. This is something that I don't miss from my days at Monster Hunter Tri. Let's find the bone gathering points. I believe that they are not shared on our screens, so with two of us, this should be fairly easy. With both of us gathering at all of the bone locations, we should be able to get red coral stones. 15 of them, in other words. Very easily. It's just even faster if you've got 3 or 4 people. It's just hard to get people who are willing to do it. Yes, I do eat stamina recovery items, just not my own. They're always rations from the box or something like that. I've got a black pearl, those are very good to get. They're quite rare. They're not extremely rare, but you know, 10% pickup 10% pickup chance or whatever it is from a bone pile underwater is, you know, I consider that to be pretty rare, so I'll enjoy my black pearls. I will clutch my black pearls. I will hold them abreast, like some kind of golem-like creature. But you see how you can just fucking see everything? Strange, isn't it? The bloom makes it so that everything that's a bit dark is just impossibly dark, and if it's really bright, it's blinding. But without any bloom, who would have thought you can fucking see the detail of the world around you? Wow. Oh my god, I mean, I should make it very clear that bloom is bad under most circumstances, but the way it is misused in this game it's actually offensive. I am offended by it. And I'm sure most people are. Even if you don't know much about video games and how they should or shouldn't look, it's pretty fucking obvious that it's not okay in this game. Weirdly enough though, it didn't bother me that much in the past. I was aware of it when I first played this game. Not that it was called Bloom, but that there was some weird shit going on with the game looking a lot brighter than I thought that it naturally should. But it didn't bother me. I had other focuses, like trying to work out how to actually use a right analog stick. I do say that jokingly. The truth is that having a right analog stick was a welcome addition for me, having started in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. But just my muscle memory was causing me to almost never use it. Eventually, I had weaned myself off of claw. It did take some time, but yeah. The climbing's very fluid, isn't it? Look at that. It's very natural. See, look how good this game looks. Now, this was common knowledge, but this was the best Monster Hunter ever looked until World came out. That's why I was so frustrated with portable Monster Hunter, you know. I felt like it was demeaning the series visually. Not just visually, but in terms of how you actually played it, and played with other people. You know, portable systems put this series down. And I'd like to think this is giving you an idea of why. I haven't really done anything with this. Like, there are no texture mods here, ladies and gentlemen. These are the textures of the game that you are seeing. This is it. 2009, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, fucking, you know, 2017 with Double Cross. Looks like a child vomited on their fucking dinner plate. Maybe that's unfair. Well, I'm actually the best off in this situation because I have some red coral stones that I can then convert into Zenny as account items. Because Freudia actually delivered 10 of them. And I delivered 5. I'm pulling my weight, sort of. Current hunter rank of 1. I don't know at what point you receive a hunter rank. I think it is when you speak to the guildmaster. I'm not really. bothered to check these things, but yeah. Now, I believe that I should be able to demonstrate this when I check my status, but you will be able to see that I actually have HRP that's contributing to a next hunter rank that's actually not related to key quest progress. See that? Now, I'm not going to reach 445 and then hit a threshold. That's actually going to take me to hunter rank 2. That's an interesting thing about Alpha Team Monster Hunter games. They have an HR requirement to progress to the next hunter rank. You need an HR requirement, and also you need to complete the key quests. The hunter rank is not locked to key quest progression. Now that's a good system, isn't it? It actually forces you to play the fucking game. What a novel concept. Well, if it sounds like a good idea, Capcom got rid of it. They actually thought, oh no, let's not do that. Maybe that was one of Beta Team's contributions, or if you could call it that, which actually were not all that helpful. I think that was a bad call. Why does Freudia have a Cedeus weapon, but opts to use the leather set? I guess he just wants the gathering, because he's doing gathering quests. That's probably fair enough. I'd say he's played plenty of the offline. Probably more than I have. I was quick to judge. Whoa, just turned to nighttime. I thought the fucking world was ending. Alright, so obviously, as always has been the case, when you complete a key quest that someone else has posted, it is marked, well, any quest that's on your list that was hosted by someone else, it is marked as completed for you, but that is not the case for urgent quests. Strangely, the quest that was posted is not in my list, so I don't know what's going on with that. Freudia is probably posting a hunting quest. Let's find out what it is. It is the Fisherman's Tale. I will also get a fire weapon on the go. I've got two options. I can either use the Red Bludgeon or the Kurapeko Sword and Shield. I'd like to think that it's fairly obvious what I'm actually going to choose. I don't think Freudia is eating. Whatever, power to. Let's get Exchanger. Yeah. I have a good reason to get Exchanger. I'm playing online. And there's nothing unfair about getting increased HRP. Even after I was just discussing how it might be a good idea to force people to play the game more by introducing hunter rank requirement to progress that's not linked to key quest completion. The reality is that if you can identify that there is a food skill that increases your HRP, that's you taking the time to learn something and then implementing that into your gameplay to speed things up a little bit. You know, it rewards investigation, it rewards learning. It's a positive thing. It's still something that will enrich your experience. So, there you go. Alright, so we're hunting Ludroth. I think between the two of us we should be able to kill it without much issue before it can even go underwater, so... When I say kill it without much issue, what I mean is we shouldn't need to engage it underwater. That's when you start to have issues, because underwater sucks. I'm fairly used to it because I've been playing a lot of 3 Ultimate. You know, if I weren't playing 3 Ultimate, this would be a real throwback. This would be a major throwback. Because underwater combat is something that you have to get used to, and yeah, I have been, at least on a semi-regular basis, been hunting underwater. Oh, I missed that head. Big time. Let's get an upswing there. Well, shouldn't have actually stayed there. Let's upswing him out. The absolutely shocking thing is that the way I am going to use hammer against this monster is not the best way to use hammer. Amazingly, the best way to use hammer is just to use super pounds. Well, maybe not. I guess it's only good to use super powers if you know you can consistently get KO hits off like that. Which is not always the case. You can see Freudia's magnetized to the head despite the fact that I'm actually using a hammer. Which is funny because if things... Oh, I was hoping for a turnaround golf swing, but that's fine. If the game's too loud, do let me know. I'm not really... Freudia's choice of voice is horrendous. Well, there you go. Of course, for those who are unaware of this fact, I do have... Well, I did have Water Blight. I now have to refer to this in the past tense. But the only way for me to get rid of Water Blight is to use a Water Block Seed. There are no null berries. That was a beta team edition in Portable Third. Obviously, in concept, it was a cool idea to have a seed to remove a specific blight, because obviously that makes sense. You know, you've got a particular seed that, you know, you eat the water seed to get rid of the water blight. Okay, that makes sense, but is it practical as a video game design? Beta team looked at that and went, well, I think it's more practical to have just one item that gets rid of everything. And that's what they implemented, the Nullberry. And that's what remained in the series ever, like for every game that came after Monster Hunter Portable Third. But you know, that's an example of a change that was made by Beta Team that stuck. The original idea for Blight, keeping in mind of course that Blight first appeared in the game that we're playing right now, there was no Blight before Tri. The first idea was to have, you know, water block seeds, and the only seed that stayed, actually, was Dragonfell berries. Dragonfell berries in this game, whilst, you know, being used as combination materials for dragon shots and the like, were actually also consumed to remove dragon blood. Freudia, can you please not be the longsword guy who messes up the hammer person? I don't want to mess up your DPS as well. Doing my best here. Definitely a forgiving hitbox. Really puts the Longsword Larrys into perspective, doesn't it? They're actually more annoying now than they were back then, but we still coined the phrase Longsword Larry in the days when apparently the Longsword hitbox was more forgiving with the Spirit combo, which is funny to see. Either that or it's a connection-related issue. I don't remember it being that lenient, but maybe it is. Maybe it just is. I could turn the game down by a tick or two. Say no more. It shall be done. Actually, you're right, it is loud. It's fucking loud. That's going to be more appropriate. Thank you for the feedback. It's usually not until after the recording that I can hear it and go, oh fuck, that's way too loud. I'm making that quieter next time. But I've now been able to make my adjustment while live. So I thank you for that. Freudy and I are quite strong for this quest. It's better, or rather we are not as overpowered as we would be if this were a village quest. But even online we're very well matched. I have a feeling, just by how I know Freudy, I think he and I are going to be here just blasting through this game together. I think that's going to happen. And you know what? I'd rather do that with someone that I know and have played Monster Hunter with for many years rather than some actual random person. Strange as that sounds, considering that I'm trying to reconnect with a tri-community here. Part of the beauty was that you could actually find random people and make friends with them in the old community, but anyway. It's also nice that I find people from the first-gen community playing. So annoyingly, we have to make our way all the way to the Ludroth sleeping area. Absurd as that is, I feel like we should have definitely killed that Ludroth in that underwater area. It's just that I think the DPS of both of us went down in that underwater confrontation because, well, the longsword's generally slower, but I'll tell you what, the fucking hammer is a whole lot slower. You're not going to sleep on my watch. It'd give me the chance for a good wake-up hit, but I'm not doing it. Don't you dare go into the water. Where do you get off going into the water immediately when we engage you like that? Alright, there's our chance. There we go. Just like 3 Ultimate, it is actually plus to skip the cutscene, but I am never in that habit when I'm playing 3 Ultimate, or this game, quite frankly. We'll try to kill these Ludroth as well. I would like to carve them. Actually, what would I prefer? I think I do have... I have pickaxes on me, so do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to head over here and mine. I would rather do that. Ludroth materials will probably be helpful, but I think that I would prefer... Sorry for the occasional freezes of the game there. That's just an emulator issue. I'm sure there's a way to fix that or make that less... Could have just stayed and fought the Ludroth, quite frankly. Would have been a better use of my time. Yeah, there's probably a way to optimize the emulator so that I don't get little freezes like that, but hiccups like that are the reason why emulating is usually never truly superior to playing on the original hardware. There we go. Hunter rank increased. The sound hasn't changed. I knew that, of course. That music is just so beautiful. I regret that you'll probably not be able to hear quite as much of it, because I've lowered the volume of the game. Naturally, things like the music while you're in the tavern are going to be much lower in volume than being in the heat of battle. Thanks, good hunt, says Freudia. I think that means he's leaving, which is a shock. Well, I shall bow to you, sir. I really did think that he was going to be in it for the long haul, but he really wasn't. Which is out of character for him. Maybe he has already been playing for 15 hours today, and... no, he's not. It's not that bad, but... yeah. So here we go. So interestingly, Sunken Treasures is on rotation. That's lovely, isn't it? When you've got key quests on rotation. Fucking hell. I'm so happy that this game exists again. To play with people. It's... I don't know what's happening with Velvet and Fane. Like, have they... What's happening with them? They've probably departed with bone weapons or something, and they're probably going to fail, which is sad, but they've been on this quest since I joined this room, which was ages ago. Like, that must have been more than 30 minutes ago. So, what are they doing? It's not good. I think they're going to fail. One thing that I do need to do, of course, is check my key quests. I'd already have a try open. The try section of the wiki, anyway. I'd reckon they're going to be getting more traffic on the Monster Hunter try section, or just on the Monster Hunter wiki in general, like the fandom wiki. The fandom wiki, look, it was very good for Monster Hunter Try, I remember that. It was a very good reference back when Try came out in English, but with the passage of time, I have found that the fandom wiki is a fucking meme. Just the amount of misinformation is astonishing, but anyway. That is not in reference to Try. I think Try had some pretty good info, and most of it was correct, like, completely correct. But for other games, good God. It is not an accurate source of information, especially not for first gen and second. Particularly first. Alright, so we want to look at wherever it is. Not village quests, I want town quests. They're saying town, rather. In a rather classic way. It's more accurate to say city, because... Well, no, not even town, I think. No, it was town in both G and... Well, 1G and DOS. They changed it to city in this game. Alright, so our key quests are Sunken Treasures, we've already done that. Hunt a Great Jaggy, Hunt a Kurapeko, deliver 10 Monster Guards, and then Hunt a Royal Ludroth is also a key quest, apparently. Well, what's the urgent? Baroth is the urgent. Well, I'm glad that I've done 2 key quests so far. I can probably solo the hunting quests as well. Any other gathering quests? Yeah, deliver 10 Monster Guards. Well, I can live with doing that myself. It's obviously nicer to have a friend, but I'll do it solo, why not? Let's bite the bullet and get it done. That's one of the good things about having actually played the village before coming on to the city mode. It's because I can actually solo the beginning stuff without actually requiring assistance. Technically, you never require assistance, but it fucking helps, because the quests are actually designed to be hunted with 4 people. That's how they are balanced. So, there you go. Now, yeah, these are my 2 sets, actually. I don't have anything else to choose from. The reason why I went there is because it's, you know, muscle memory at this point. I'm used to having options. I do not play games where I haven't really built up my character quite as often. Doesn't matter what I depart with for this next hunt, so I will continue with this loadout. So we want no guts, no glory. Stop that. Now, I should actually be playing on the European version right now, but I am connecting to the US servers, which is great. I'm glad that they had a way around the servers. My guess, to be honest, is that both the US and EU servers are actually located in the US. Like, whatever they're using to allow for online play here is probably based in the US, so I don't think it's even worth connecting to EU. Maybe they actually went to the trouble of setting up a server in the EU for that to connect to. If they actually went that far, kudos to you people, seriously, like, excellent work. What room am I in? Oh, you're playing, hey AJ. If you're playing, let me know, and I will tell you. I will make a room if you're playing. Let me know. Because I know that you've been playing recently, I do believe I've been seeing your posts on Hunsterverse. Alright, you'll hop on? I will make a room then. Yeah, well, I'm doing key quests anyway. My guess is that Hey AJ has already reached high rank. I'm pretty sure that he has. But, anyway. Let me exit this location. I believe the only way to leave a room is to physically walk to the exit. I believe I remember that correctly. You could alternatively reconnect to the whole online session if you want. But yeah, I do remember that. You have to manually walk to the exit, which actually was not... You know, I never questioned that back then. And having to do it again now doesn't bother me at all. It's fine. Actually... It's actually similar in 3 Ultimate, because of course you do have to go to an exit point. It's just the exit point is quite close to where everyone's questing, so... Yeah. Alright, I'll make a room here. I've only got 30 seconds to make this room because... yeah. This slot is considered competitive. Like, let's imagine there are a lot of people playing. It is in a competitive position to have City 5, so... let's say... let's quest together. That should be lighthearted enough. It's a 30-second time limit for everything, you know. But most of the reason why they have that time limit is because it's a slot that has been already allocated. It's not like an empty screen and then you will populate that screen with your room. When you start to select a name, you will actually have that room allocated to you. But if it takes you too long to select a name, you lose that opportunity and then someone else gets to make the room in that slot. I actually like that system. I think that's good. Anyway. Ace has reached high rank. He is Hunter rank 65. He is using Calm Sands. He wants to arm wrestle with me. I'm not using the original Classic Controller Pro, but we can still give it a try. I was undisputed in the try days. I was the champion, but maybe very different on emulator, especially with this shitty controller. We'll see how we go. Anyway. He is quite appropriately using the Vangus set. The Vangus set is one of the best in the game. But obviously because it has Sharpness +1. Sharpness +1 in conjunction with Attack Up Large is a deadly combination in this game. Not so much with Calm Sands, but yeah. Certainly with the Devil Joe and Elatrion weapons, that's deadly. Purple Sharpness just obliterates everything in this game. Alright. Hope you're ready to gather some guts. Some monster guts. Maybe I should be eating. Should I be doing this? Oh, he's gone and equipped Dark Claw Demise, which is nice of him. Oh. Are you saying I can't eat here? I have to be at the bell? That's rather rude. Unless I've already... no, I haven't already eaten, so why do I have to sit at the bell? Oh, did they actually make it so that you can't... no, I did eat a meal while I had a quest up before. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I swear I ate while I had a quest above my head last time. That's fine, I'm ready to go. You won on your screen, well that's great. He's given me something. He gave me a Farcaster. Well, that's very nice of you. I don't have any Farcasters, actually. And Ace is ready to go. Let's get moving. Let's carve some Epioth. Oh, never mind. This is, of course, in the desert, so we're instead going to be... fuck. I should have brought some Sonic Bombs. We'll be getting our monster guts from Delix today. Nasty. Well, I've got 2 Sonic Bombs, and I'm just going to pray that Ace has brought more than 2. Because we need 10, and I believe it's 1 carve per Delix, so... you know, the chances that we're actually going to get monster guts from each single carve is fairly low. Let's see if he throws first. Go on, mate. Oh no, he's just fucking going for it. As you do. You go for whatever you're going for, and I'll go for what I'm going for. I think that's dead. Oh, can I get him? Yeah, I got him. Don't you dare. Don't you. Oh, you bastard. I managed to hit him a few times. And he persisted. Ugh. Anyway, I'm getting everything except monster guts, but that's alright, we're in for the long haul. Or at least I am. I don't have the patience to manually attack you, are you kidding me? Well, that one... Okay. I'm not going to assume that the Sonic Bomb killed it, because that's not possible. Sonic Bombs don't deal damage, but you know. I hope you're carving these, Ace. I need your monster guts too. That's going to make this faster for both of us. You've got 3, okay. Well, I've got, I think, 1. You're doing better than I am on that front. You bastard creature. These things are easier to deal with than, for example, a Cephadrome, if you don't have any Sonic Bombs. What are you doing? When are you gonna stop? Hey? Hey, when are you gonna stop? You bastard. You folks had better turn around and show me your faces soon. Have they left? Temporarily? Ace has moved on. Ooh, well. Without Sonic Bombs, I really don't feel like I... Oh my god! Look how many of them there are! There are less Daleks than this following Jen Moran. Seriously. Jen Moran can't even call this many Daleks to his side. Why am I saying Daleks instead of Daleks? I used to say Daleks until I had, I think it was Shepard from Social Dissonance who made me think, or got me calling them Daleks. It's awful. It's Daleks. Far out. Should have brought a longsword. The reason why I'm just carving them immediately is because I don't want to miss that opportunity. Oh, there's another one over there. This is, of course, a good opportunity to get big fins as well. Sharpened fangs and big fins are definitely something that you need when you're crafting weapons and armor, so it's beneficial to get them. But he's surrounded by these things. Now. Yes, well, it's because of Shepard that I said Raytheon for a long time as well. Because I watched the original Monster Hunter podcast when it was audio only, not long after Tri came out, and they were like the first guys that I had heard pronouncing the monster names, and so, you know, I just pronounced them the way they did. I felt that they probably had a better idea than I did, but turns out it's more to do with the part of the world you're from than anything else. Ugh. Anyway. Alright, my water blight has disappeared. I'm getting so many carves that are not monster guts. I mean, it's atrocious to say this, or to admit, but I've literally got fucking 1 monster guts. Let me know when you get 9, Ace. I bet you've already got 9. Or you're approaching that anyway. Because I'm sitting on a big old-fashioned 1. But yeah, that's how tight-knit community, or how tight-knit this... I can't speak English. That is how tight-knit this community is. 2 people that I've come across are people that I know so far. So, yeah. It's good. I like that. Although, I think Hey AJ might have... Yeah, I didn't come across him in-game now that I think about it. He was watching me when I went live and then came online to play it, so that's a little different. So I'm sitting on 3 monster guns. He's saying that he has 5. So we're getting there. I reckon... Well, part of me just wants to make sure that we're keeping track of each one that we get from now on. So that we don't end up... Oh, that was well positioned. That golf swing should have fucking killed it. If that didn't kill it, I don't know what would. Again, I'm glad I'm getting these big fins. Yeah, I was going to do this alone. I suppose it would have been manageable. I think if I had actually done this, I would have returned from the quest and then changed weapons to something more appropriate, and I also would have brought 10 sonic bombs, which I do have stashed away. With a hammer, this is miserable. It just doesn't have the mobility that you need for this sort of thing. Chasing after these wily sand-dwelling creatures. Alright, that's 5 for me. I actually didn't realise that I'd carved 2 in that time. Oh, here we go. Looks like we're ready to go. Oh, that's right, he said he had 5 before, didn't he? Yeah, of course. Silly me. Into the box you go. You can be a bonus reward. That's rather unkind, considering that he has assisted me in this quest. Thank you for your help. What I have noticed is that you can't actually send rewards quite as quickly in this game as you can in others. That refers to games before and after this one. The animation needs to play for a fraction of a second before you can accept the next one, and it does slow you down a little bit, which is a shame, but oh well. I'm sure I'll get used to it. See, this music that's playing here is called... What is it again? It's like... something like Loc Lac, You Are Eternal. And that's what I've said. Like, that's my comment in Portable Third. Like, in my comment section, it's Loc Lac, You Are Eternal, but it's based on the name of this song. This is probably my favorite of the Monster Hunter Tri songs. Just the introduction of it, the way that plays, to almost welcome you back to this serene nightscape in the desert. And, yeah. No, there were times years ago when I'd play this song and I'd literally, you know, have tears welling up. Because, like, that's how powerful the nostalgia was. It would have been stronger. The nostalgic kick, or... yeah, that would have been stronger coming into this game today if I hadn't seen this game on and off, you know, other people playing it. Even in the past, you know, old recordings of it. And also having listened to the music before today. But it's still really special to be back here again. It's surreal, actually. I don't think it's truly hit me yet that I'm doing it, but yeah. Yeah. Our next quest shall be Great Jaggy. Well, the thing with Loc Lac's music is that it's good on its own already, but if you've got a nostalgic attachment to it, it's really good. It's really good. I'm using the Rampart because I don't really need something stronger than that for Great Jaggy. I would like to forge the Babel Spear soon, though. That would be good. I do need quite a lot of Dragonite ore, though. This will be a quick hunt. So apparently there is a hunter client who needs assistance with this quest. Let's have a look at the quest info. Rich hunter, I do love the idea of hunting, but I despise all that danger and dirty gear. Track down a great Jaggy for me so I can take credit for the hunt. The beast leads a pack of Jaggy on the deserted island. Well, what a bastard. He's probably not rich from his own money. He calls himself a hunter. But he doesn't want to get down and dirty and actually hunt anything. Doesn't really work, does it? No, alright. I don't really need to stock up on that. I will stock up on paintballs. I have a thing for paintballs and stocking up on them. It's what I do at the start of every recording. Well, not recording, sorry. Every game that I'm playing, every new save, I just stock up on paintballs. It's worthwhile. Something you don't have to worry about. Want to see something that makes me really happy? This is a very fluid form of lance compared to the game that preceded this one, by the way. If you play Freedom Unite Lance and then immediately play Tri-Lance, you'll see a big fucking difference. But it's this here. One, two, three, counter! Now, that was a form of lance that I became very used to. Very used to. It was very hard playing portable third lance. I can assure you of that. Not being able to counter on the third hit was miserable because I came to think that that was the essence of lance. That was literally like the whole thing. That was everything that I understood to be the reality of lance in 3rd gen, and then they took it away from me and I was so sad. I was forever ruined by it. My relationship with lance has never been as strong as it was in Trial because of that. I was definitely a big lance and hammer guy. You don't see me use much hammer or lance anymore, do you? But yeah, Great Jaggy's Great Jaggy. This is his first game, of course, but he's not much of a challenge. The only monster whose first appearance is Tri, and I should really mention that every single monster that appears in this game that is familiar to you, but if Tri is unfamiliar to you, just keep in mind this is the first appearance for every monster that appears here. Every single monster is unique to this game. Or was unique to this game when it came out. So, yeah. The only monster that really was noticeably more difficult was Barroth. Now, Barroth was made considerably easier in Portable Third, along with literally everything else, but in terms of the way the monster moved, he was made easier. The same could be said in some respects for Uragan, because Uragan's rolling path was a bit harder to avoid in this game. In Portable Third, he makes a tighter turn when he rolls, which actually gives him less range of effectiveness. But in this game, he just fucking rolls straight over you. He doesn't care. He doesn't need to do any tight turns to practically avoid hitting you. He just fucking rolls over you. He steamroll you. That's an interesting ending screen. It's a really weird ending screen. Hunter rank increased. Yes, indeed. Now, do you guys want to know the scariest part of this game? It's a sad part of this game, and I hate it. This is one of the problems with Alpha Team. Alpha Team had it in their head. Well, if you want to save the game, you have to rest in the bed. Might be nice in concept. You know, whatever idea that they have in their head for, you know, associating saving the game with sleeping. I don't fucking care what it is. I don't believe that I'm able to save the game at all. How do I save? Is it auto-saving? Oh, that's right. Of course, I have to go into the level 1 guest house. I thought it wasn't going to let me into my house while I was online, but of course you can do that. But yes, this is how I save my progress. Unless I do this, everything that I've done so far, since I started playing online, would have been lost if I closed the emulator, okay? That is how I just saved my progress. Because nothing manual or nothing automatically saved at all. So that's one of the things that's ridiculous about this game. That's Alpha Team busy at work making your life a living hell. So yes, you have a save option if you quit, but my point is that I've been online this whole time, but I have not manually saved, which means that if I were to, you know, let's imagine I was on my Wii and my Wii lost power. That's bad news. I definitely lost a little bit of progress while playing Try, but I didn't question it that much. I questioned it a little bit because obviously I had started in Freedom Unite, and that was not a problem. You'd literally get a save prompt at the end of every single quest, and that was during online play, so I don't know why Alpha Team had to do that to us, but yeah, that's just how, like, that's the intransigence of Alpha Team on full display, just this unwillingness to implement even the most basic of quality of life improvements to their vision. I really think it would have served them well to have taken more notes or more leaflets out of the book of Beta Team when Beta Team was actually doing things. You know, let's look at what they're doing, keep what they've implemented that we agree with, and then remove the other stuff. I just don't believe for one moment that Alpha Team saw what Beta Team did with saving and were like, oh, forget that. Why would the player want to do that? I mean, are you for real? Almost impossible to imagine. But, anyway, next quest. What are the key quests? I believe both Kurapeko and... Well, maybe not Kurapeko. Oh, apparently Kurapeko is not a key quest, so our next... No, it is, yes. So our next key quest will be Kurapeko, followed by... Well, probably not followed by Ludroth, because I think that's already been done, so... Kurapeko will be next. I do not actually have an ice weapon, so we'll have to settle for something else. It's going to be this. Playing with fire. You can see the Fisherman's Tale is already complete. That is our Ludroth key quest. I will greet our new hunter. Ugh, that's nasty. Ace has left after I greeted him. Sorry, Kimbo has left. Ace is still here. I was about to say, Ace mentions in the Twitch chat his Twitch name and his Hunsterverse or Discord name is Hey AJ, but I'm going to refer to him as Ace, otherwise it's going to confuse people who do not make that connection between two totally different names, which is perfectly understandable. He said that one time when he quit the game and then saved through quitting, he accidentally picked no when asked would he like to save, which meant that he lost 3 hours of progress in the game. That's pretty bad. That's really bad. But yeah, that's exactly the sort of issue that you run into when you have a stupid and just lazy implementation of save functionality in a game. Your concept can go to hell. Ensuring that people who are playing your game don't have experiences like that should be your first priority. That should be your first priority. Just ridiculous. Anyway, let's depart. Yeah, that was funny. I was going to the the mansion because I'm so used to going to the mansion, but no, I'm in the barn now. I belong in the barn. Paintballs and sonic bombs. And I'll take a map. I've got nothing against a map. I don't necessarily require one. In fact, of all the locales, it's really this one that I need the map the least. But it's nice to have it on screen. This is the correct size for a map. Quite frankly. 3 Ultimate's heads-up display is way too small. If you want to see the correct size for a heads-up display, it is this one. It's not as big as a portable game because it doesn't need to be. But it's not as fucking small as the 3 Ultimate Wii U heads-up display because, I don't know, it's well designed. That's probably why. Oh, off target, huh? I can really appreciate how high resolution this monster is after having played 3 Ultimate. Fucking hell. And Portable 3rd. That's probably a paralysis right there. Oh, bless him, doing the full longsword combo of 2nd gen in a game where doing a spirit combo does not cause you to lose charge in your spirit gauge. Very funny. Very funny. Imagine delaying that final slash that you could be getting on your longsword and instead drawing out the combo like that. Very silly, very silly. I need to bloody sharpen up soon. I shall do it now. But yeah, the idea that this was deemed appropriate for longsword in this game is just absurd. Yeah, this is Longsword Larry gameplay. This is why people were called Longsword Larry. It's because of this system. It's just terrible. Well, didn't even need to evade out of the way though. Oh! Don't run away now. He's doing his butt dance. See, the spirit combos just don't stop, do they? That's it. Doesn't fucking stop. Because the best way to use longsword in a game where you don't actually lose any charge in your gauge when doing the spirit combo is to just keep doing spirit combos. It's great damage, it's the best damage that the weapon can deal. There's just no sense of balance at all. It's terrible, it's really bad. Anyway. I'm trying to keep out of the way of Ace as best I can. Because I think Pekko's going to 8. Just in case he's going to 8, I'm going to go there. If he's going to 5, then it's not the end of the world, because then I can just drop down to... Oh, I think... Look, if he's flying through 6, that means he's going to 5, but it's fine. I can drop down to 5 from here. I guess I was being overly optimistic. He wouldn't be going to 8 unless he was weak, so... That's alright, I can drop down here. Really? He's gone down to 2? Well... Doomlink, how does it feel to be totally wrong? Well, I guess when I said totally wrong, I meant like really, really, really wrong. Okay. I guess Area 9, yeah, that's definitely a place where Kurapeko goes occasionally. Yeah, this is an obscene longsword. Don't lose faith, Ace. Kurapeko goes to 10 as well, I've seen it. It's unfair. He shouldn't be going to 10, but yeah, he's in 10. Imagine going from 7 to 10. That doesn't seem natural, does it? You think he'd go to 5 and then 9 and then 10. No, he just goes from 7 to 10 just to confuse the hell out of you. That's how you know it's Alpha Team. At least it's gone back to standard level. If you lose your red, it doesn't go backwards by 1, it just fucking... you lose everything. Which is... Look, in my opinion, I'm sorry, I realise that that is an element of trying to... or an example of how they have made some attempt to balance the longsword, but it's not sufficient. You know, it's not good enough to make it so that if you haven't engaged the monster for 1 minute, that you go back to default, because you can get back up to red almost immediately. And while you are fighting the monster, you are just totally overpowered, so it's not actually helping to have that happen. Look, I'm already in fucking yellow. And I've barely had a chance to pick my nose, much less do anything else. So, like, really, what's the point of even having that implemented, you know? Oh, well. You don't get to be overpowered permanently. You have to wait a minute or two to go back to being overpowered if you haven't hit the monster recently. And saying a minute or two, quite frankly, is being overly conservative. Fucking hell. Goodbye, Kurapeko. It was an unfair matchup from the beginning. Also, in this game, Kurapeko's materials are red instead of pink. Sorry, the other way around. They're never red. Thanks, Doomlink, for giving us all misinformation. So, in later games, Kurapeko's materials are green, to match the coat. In Try, they are pink. Thank you, Doomlink. Alright. I don't think I have any bug nets. I should have bug nets. The fact that I don't is pretty bad. Quest complete. Happy to be picking up all of these random little things. Which don't mean much to me now, but when I have 60 of them instead of 6 of them, I'll be pretty happy about it. That's the point. Thanks for joining me, by the way, Ace. I do appreciate it. The reason why is because I'm really here to demonstrate the multiplayer functionality of the game. You know, if I'm playing online but still playing by myself, it's just not really the same. But you know, if I'm here playing with someone, it's better. So thank you for that. I genuinely appreciate that. You have You have elevated the quality of the live stream just by being here, so... Big thank you for that. I'm surprised that we don't have the urgent quest yet. What else is left? Well, maybe it's the fisherman's tale. That would be quite a mistake if we actually needed the fisherman's tale. Is that what it is? It is. I blame Freudian. He bloody posted the wrong quest. Well, I don't mind doing this again. That's not a big deal. I can just, you know, equip my other fire weapon because I do have options. That's why I'm glad that I spent some time offline first. It's actually nice to be able to use this because I'm so used to using the Rathalos sword and shield here. I almost never get that opportunity. Oh, fine. Well, no, I won't eat. I don't need to eat. If you're going to force me to eat before I post a quest, which I'm quite frankly not used to doing, not anymore, then I'm just going to not eat. Sorry. At least this time around. I'll try to remember for next time, but Dark Nova is a name that I recognize. Either from the old Tri community or from somewhere in the traditional Monster Hunter community. 1st and 2nd gen. Dark Nova. With the rough edge. Using, sadly, a set that has no skills. He's probably working towards the Lagiocrus helmet, hopefully. Anyway, what's his hunter rank? 30. Well, there you go. He's 1 hunter rank away from reaching high rank. It's so strange that I remembered it to be 32. Like, I swear to you, I remembered it being 32. Like it was clear as day. But it's actually 31. Strange. Rather strange. Very annoyingly, my useless phone with its dying battery, and I don't just mean battery life, I mean dying battery, has died on me again. And so I have no chat to read. I'm gonna have to put it on charge or something. I'll be back momentarily. My setup as it is right now doesn't really allow me to look at my computer over there to read the chat, so I guess I could manually read the chat on my computer. I guess that's a possibility. Pop out chat, and then, I don't know. Could check that every now and again, but that's awkward. Yeah, I'll go and put my phone on charge. I'll be back in just a second. Interestingly, Dark Nova disconnected at the same time that I stood up and walked away with my wired earphones being pulled out of my interface. I've never heard of anyone being disconnected from an online session due to the disconnection of a piece of audio equipment, but that almost felt like what I just witnessed. Alright. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know if Dark Nova abandoned or if he simply disconnected. I don't remember if they say that anymore. What I mean is, I no longer remember if that is specified specifically when playing online in Tri. Okay. Where is Ludroth? He starts in 9, I suppose. Well, I'm going for the challenge mode. I took nothing out of the box and I didn't eat. I'm probably not going to find myself especially punished as a result. My beautiful tri-sword and shield, as smooth as could be. Whoops. Except when I do that. It's actually not that smooth. You have to actually press plus to get your extra attack, which, quite frankly, is less than acceptable. He abandoned because, reading the chat history, he left and then returned and then afterwards left the city. So he did actually abandon. He didn't want to play with us. That attack that I just did there requires you to press plus, which is pretty bad. It looks smooth, it just doesn't play smooth, I guess. Strangely, with the Sword and Shield, I'm getting more performance issues with Dolphin. I don't know why. It's a strange thing. Mostly audio related, really enough. Unless I hear it more than I see it. I guess that's possible. Gives you a new appreciation for consoles, doesn't it? For all the things that you could say about 3 Ultimate, 3 Ultimate doesn't stutter like that. And we've got a Limping Ludroth. But I'm instead going to gather at the shiny and carve the tail. That's the right thing to do. Otherwise I'm going to forget about both of those things. Oh. Lovely. Doesn't let me move in a forward direction while minimizing, which is a shame. I was trying to read the chat, in other words. I'm sure there are ways to make the emulator run more smoothly, I just don't know how to do that now. Optimizing emulators is not part of my natural skill set as a gamer, so yeah. Oh, come on, do the fucking attack. Oh, we're going for the capture, are we? Oh, it's a capture quest! I forgot as well. Thank you for remembering. Far out. God, how many tranks did that require? Every single one of those made contact with a monster. Shit. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad you remembered. I had completely forgotten it was a capture quest. Many thanks for that. You saved the hunt. Otherwise we would have killed it, I think. Unless it was just me attacking, which is possible. Didn't really get a chance to carve those Ludroth. I didn't at all get a chance to carve them because it's a capture quest and it's over much faster. Bad luck. Alright. Hunter Rank 4. I don't know what the requirement is to reach 2-star quests, by the way. It's probably something like 5 or 6, I don't know. Maybe more. I'm just going based on my memory of 1st gen Monster Hunter. I'm sure it's different in this game. In fact, it definitely is, because the maximum hunter rank in Monster Hunter G was 30. So, yeah, that's obviously different here. That was in G rank in Monster Hunter G. So, there you are. Why don't I have my urgent quest? Is it because my hunter rank's not high enough? Is that why? Probably. Could do the Phantom Irugan. Because that's still high rank, actually. How about we do the Phantom Irugan? That might be fun. Well, I'd say that's a good idea. I want Irugan materials anyway. I will bring the Paralakite. Or, yeah, I'll bring the Paralycate, because I don't really want to bring a Sword and Shield, which would be good for the poison. And I don't want to bring... Well, yeah, let's just bring Hammer, because I'll do Super Pounds, which will work best on Phantom Uragan anyway. And, yeah. I don't have a water weapon, so... Let's do that. Oh, fuck, of course. I must be Hunter rank 18 to either initiate or join the quest. It'd be nice if I could read. Well, can't do that. That's a shame. I foolishly saw Hunter rank 18, thought, well, that's low rank, I'm low rank, and then never actually considered what it meant for it to say that I needed to be Hunter rank 18. Again, reading and comprehending is a good thing. I read it, but I didn't comprehend it. I guess I did insofar as recognizing that 18 was low rank, but that was the extent of it. May as well do all of the quests at this stage. Just to capture a great Jackie, I guess. Ugh. What's happening with Kintaro? He's Hunter rank 1. Just starting out. He was in a room together called Let's Quest Together. Anyway, he was in a room called Let's Quest Together, and it was population 0 out of 4. Well, I'm sure he was in the room, but now it's 0 out of 4. So he gave up on his room and joined ours. The only reason why I made a room was because Ace wanted to play. If you guys remember me talking about Monster Hunter 3, or while playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, while talking about try, you'll remember that I said that it always defaulted to the no option in try, and I'm seeing that again here. I would mention that in the context of people accidentally departing on hunts. I would say that there was no good reason... Well, actually, no, it should depart. It should default to the yes option. I used to say the opposite. I remember it defaulting to the yes option in this game. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I may have confused myself at one point or another. Some may argue that I'm currently confused in many ways. Maybe. Largely correct. Mink has entered the city. As you do. There's actually a chat option to allow for chat to be able to see the chat. So choose whether you wish to receive or ignore lobby chat during quests. It's currently yes, so I would like to continue to receive lobby chat while out on quests. That's important because if you don't have that, you've got no communication with the person who's waiting to join. And the reason, well, if you're on a quest and someone has joined the room and they want to join in, it's useful to be able to communicate with them and tell them how much longer you're going to be. So, yeah, I actually think it's quite silly to turn that off. I understand why they give you the option to turn it off. I think that's fair, actually. And probably well thought out on the part of Capcom, but I don't agree with it. Because I see the other side of it. I see the benefits of it. Bad thing to turn off. I'm glad to see that it's on by default, though. Ace has put down a trap. I don't know if he's anticipating a capture taking place that quickly, but... yeah, he sort of is. He's pre-tranking, thinking that we're going to capture it. I think he's probably... Oh no, he did not actually drop that trap and throw Tranks prematurely. He actually was banking on us dealing enough damage for that to happen. Okay. I suppose he did hit the monster a few times with his very high rank weapon. So that probably made it clearer that that was going to happen. Well, nice work. He basically did all that work there. I probably would have let the monster limp, which would have been too late, I suppose, with 3 of us. Very nice. What is that? My shortest so far? That must be my shortest so far because it's not a silver crown or a gold crown, so... Yeah. New record. But they don't indicate what the record is. Maybe there was a smallest for my best. Which that had actually surpassed. Mink is in the room. G'day, Mink. I'll give you a hey because everyone said hi so far. Is Ace going to win on his screen again? Did he win on his screen? That's what happened last time. Kintaro. Well, I don't really see a point in arm wrestling if it's a different result depending on who's seeing it. That's rather silly. What's my hunter rank? 4. So, let's just see who's here. Kintaro is hunter rank 1, so he probably hasn't done any of his key quests. God, this is slow going, isn't it? Do you know your key quests? What the fuck? This is going to take ages to write. This is miserable. I don't know what to do. I'm just so used to having the ability to communicate with a keyboard. Can I get Wii Speak on the... Can I enable Wii Speak? Okay, so USB keyboard doesn't work through Dolphin, but maybe Wii Speak works. Can I use Wii Speak to use my microphone here? That would be great, wouldn't it? Oh, shit. Could you imagine? God. That'd be probably the most entertaining thing I've recorded so far. You think I need to be HR 10 to reach the next level? That probably makes sense. Ace has gone to the trouble of typing that out. Who won that arm wrestle? They both are probably going to say me. I won. Mink is saying, Kintaro choose. He probably realizes that I can't progress either. You can see that someone who's standing close enough to... Yeah, Mink is automatically doing the chair animation. Because he's standing nearby, which is kind of cool. The game recognizes that that was sort of a member of the audience. How long have I been live for? 2 hours and 24. It's not actually been that long for the VOD viewers, but I'll do one more hunt. What has Kintaro posted? I'm glad that he's... Oh, he's posted a triple Great Jaggy quest. Where did he get this one from? Is that part of the 1-star rotation? I guess it is. I may as well use the same weapon, why not? It's so impractical to have that gigantic window saying accepting quest when the only text on that window is the text that says accepting quest. It's so funny. I mean, the things that you didn't question in the past, but then you look at them with... You look at it with fresh eyes now and you're just like, what? Why have this giant text window and then only have like 5% of the window be populated with text. I mean, what you do is you make the window smaller, don't you? Like, it's funny. Oh, this is the HR grind quest. Okay. I don't remember that. If that were known to me when I was playing this game when it came out, I've definitely fucking forgotten it now. Triple Jaggy quest. Oh yes, this is an event quest. Yeah, this is a quest that we can actually join. This is the one that gives you the Jaggy head. And then I think that's a luck headpiece. Might be plus 10 luck or something. Which is fair enough. Don't know why I'm bothering to take any of that stuff. I didn't end up getting rations there, someone else got them. But it's 3 Jaggy, I mean, what's the point of actually setting up for the quest? They're all here. I remember waiting for them to spawn. I didn't realise they were all here at the same time. That doesn't match up to my memories of this hunt at all. How weird is that? I either had false memories of this quest, or it was actually different. I'm pretty sure it was consecutive, like one at a time. How strange is that? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I actually distinctly remember doing the quest. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Like, I remember, you know, waiting for them to spawn out of the little hole over there. I remember it. But they're all here at the same time. Is it because of the custom servers, or is this actually what the quest was like? I don't remember fighting them all at the same time. That's weird. Sorry, guys. So what's going on? So we completed the sub-quest, which is hunt 2 Great Jaggy. Oh, it's 2 at the same time. Why did I think that there were 3? Maybe that's what it is. So the third one needs to spawn, I'm pretty sure. Ace is heading off somewhere, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure that there's only 2 at one time, and then... Okay, so if it's actually 2 at one time, and then you wait for the third to spawn, then that's probably about right. That coheres with my memory. I thought it was all 3 at one time. I don't know why I thought I saw 3 of them. Some people say seeing double, I must be seeing triple. Well, not really. Seeing 0.5. Ugh. But yeah, he should spawn out of this hole, because I remember that. No, it must have been all 3 at the same time. But he left. And went that way. He went into Area 1. So I wasn't, you know, hallucinating. There were 3 of them, but one of them left. Fucking hell. Sorry. I just launched him towards the monster. That's the nasty effect of the hammer. I like that we're all using different weapon types. That's a good community for you. That's how you know it's a good community of hunters. I don't remember the quest being like this. I'm sorry. I don't know how it was in the past. I don't know if I'm just remembering it wrong, or if I've got false memories. I don't care. My memories tell me that it was either consecutive or it was 2 and then 1. Not all 3 at the same time. It's more fun with all 3 at the same time, because I can tell you that even with all of them at the same time, it's not a challenge. So, yeah. There you go. I should be doing some mining as well. In fact, I think that's more important than carving Jagia. Oh my god, I'm not going to actually get any mining done. That guy was after me. Even if I was able to get mining done, he would have actually annihilated me, so... That's annoying. Maybe you can get that Jaggy mask no matter what, but it's easier to get King's Frills from this quest. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's not an actual event quest item. It's funny how your memories are not always that accurate. Anyway. Some of them are. Some of my memories of this game are very accurate, but then others are just wildly incorrect. Anyway. I suppose I've experienced the same thing with Freedom Unite, to be honest. I've got some weird memories of things in Freedom Unite that I thought were factual, and then I went back and I was like, oh, that's not right. Ugh. Anyway. Now, what am I doing? I am checking to see if I can forge a Jaggy head. I don't want any of this. None of this. I want the Jaggy mask. Where's the Jaggy mask? It's not a fucking option. Well, there you go. So, when I leave, that will cause this room to close, so I will let them know that I'm closing the room. Closing the room, which will take me half an hour to write. Closing, I won't even add the... Closing room. And I'm not going to go to the trouble of saying thanks for hunting. Closing room. Can we defeat Devil Joe? What do you think, mate? Can we defeat Devil Joe? Your hunter rank 1, and the hunter rank requirement is 51. Unless you get the event quest that has, you know, the Lion's Bane, you're not going to be able to join it. And you can't join a high rank quest anyway, so... Can we defeat Devil Joe? No. Not unless Ace brings his, you know, sharpness +1, purple sharpness weapon. It's only under those circumstances that this is going to work. I've informed them that I'm closing the room, so it's over to them what they're going to do. Ace has posted a quest. I don't know. I'm finishing up, guys, so... I've given you forewarning that I'm closing the room, so... There you go. But you will see that that room's now gone. Either that or it's going to be slow to update. Yeah, see, it's not there anymore. Alrighty. I've had a lot of fun. I've very much enjoyed that. It's really nice to be back in Monster Hunter Tri. It is surreal. It's a cheesy and rather obvious word to use, but it's the best way to describe the experience of returning to Tri after 10 years and being able to be here in Loc Lac. It's incredible. But I do thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time I am playing Monster Hunter. It will likely be Monster Hunter Tri.